To many of us, $1 million is a lot of money. For this exercise, let's represent that sum with a single block. Over the course of your career, you'll use wages earned from employment to purchase the things that sustain your lifestyle. Large, infrequent expenditures, such as houses and vehicles, as well as common everyday items like groceries, will be financed in large part by these earnings. If you're the average college graduate in the United States, this will amount to about $3 million over the course of your career. To begin to compare your purchasing power versus that of a corporation, let's begin with an example that's a bit closer to home, your local grocery store. The business model of the store is predicated in part upon leveraging its purchasing power to procure stocked items in bulk, which it can then resell to you by the unit at a profit. A small to medium-sized business like this may reasonably generate revenues of $15 million per year. Even at this scale, the enterprise already surpasses the career earnings of the individual fivefold in the period of just a year. As you can imagine, this effect becomes far more pronounced as we compare a Fortune 500 company. To make the comparison as meaningful as possible, we'll model our example off of a multinational producer of specialty chemicals and break down yearly expenditures into major spend categories. First up, travel and expenses. These are your flights, hotels, meals, and caterings. Next, marketing. This is likely on the low end compared to most companies in this stratosphere, reflecting the nature of the business and its customers. Facilities management literally keeps the lights on, covering all the goods and services required for upkeep of company properties. IT and telecom refers to commodities like computers, servers, software licenses, phones, and other peripherals, a significant source of spend for any company. Moving on to MRO, or maintenance, repair, and operation, which manages procurement of parts and services to maintain equipment on the production line. And outsourced manufacturing, which manages third parties that produce a finished product which is then offered to consumers under the company's brand. As we turn the corner, the level of spend really begins to ramp up, starting with logistics. A company like this can literally move mountains, developing vast intermodal networks to transport products and ingredients from point A to point B. This requires incorporating warehousing, freight, packaging, labels, and more into its category strategy. A manufacturer like this will have significant spend in the area of capital equipment to acquire the highly complex and industry-specific machinery needed to produce its product. Given the importance to operations and dollar values associated with this category, capital procurements are conducted extremely carefully, with some requests for proposal taking place over multiple rounds. As we near the end, we reach the least tangible of any category that has come before: professional services. These are your consultants, tax advisors, engineering firms, and auditors, as well as temp labor utilized by the company. As impressive as the spend is here, it can't compare to the volume in our largest and final category. As a manufacturer of specialty chemicals, vast quantities of raw ingredients are consumed in the process of producing the finished product. These are known as direct materials. The needs of this enterprise are so great to where it may physically reside on top of a pipeline, or at least at the center of a logistical hub that continually feeds processes of refinement, operated by hundreds or thousands of employees. Just to drive home the point that each company is vastly different. If we were looking at a more consumer-oriented company, such as, say, Coca-Cola, this might represent its marketing budget. That's just a friendly reminder that while there are similarities to what different companies buy, there's no one-size-fits-all model to procurement and supply chain strategy. What is hopefully clear from this exercise is the need for professional spend management. If even a single block is misappropriated, there could be dire consequences to the company's financial and operational health. Furthermore, harnessing the magnitude of spend at this scale, even in the smallest of categories, represents critical leverage to negotiate advantageous pricing and terms with suppliers. This creates a competitive advantage compared to smaller enterprises, a concept we refer to as economies of scale. This is one of the most exciting aspects of a career in supply chain. While the vast majority of us will never experience personal wealth anywhere near this level, it is extremely satisfying to see how the pieces come together at the point of purchase in order to keep the most famous brands up and running. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments what aspects of procurement and supply chain you find interesting. And of course, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Until next time,